Hey guys, I'm T and welcome to the channel. If you're new here, we make trendy and fun crochet tutorials twice a week, and if you haven't already, smash that like button, drop a comment below, and subscribe to join in on the fun. What you're looking at here is something I'm surprised we didn't have on the channel already, a cable stitch hoodie. I don't know why it took so long, but it's finally here and I'm glad that it is. It gave me a chance to combine cables with the alpine stitch, which I love, plus I got to work on a new hood design, so that's fun too. Are there any designs you're surprised that we haven't tackled yet? If so, let me know in the comments below. And without further ado, for this project, any category 4 yarn will work, but I used 2.5 skeins of Red Heart Super Saver in Light Sage. As for tools, a 5, 6.5, and 8mm hook, scissors, stitch markers, and a tape measure. There's a written pattern down below. Use offer code TCD DIY for a discount off any $9.99 plus order. Watch to the end of the video to learn how to enter this week's giveaway. We're using 6 stitches for this project, and they will be as follows: chain, slip stitch, single crochet, half double crochet, double crochet, treble crochet, double treble crochet. This tutorial is for a size small, but you can adjust it for your size, and we explain how to in the video, so let's get started. Getting this top started, we are first going to grab our category 4 yarn and make a slip knot. Next, we're going to grab our 5mm hook and start off by making a chain that can wrap around our head, in which I will give you my measurements in just a sec. I'm just going to show you guys a trick on how to make sure our chain doesn't get twisted. So we're all going to start off by making a chain of 5. Once when we have our chain of 5, we are going to pull out some slack and then take our hook out. From there, we're going to insert our hook into that first chain that we have, and then also insert our slack loop onto our hook. From here, we're going to pull and continue chaining like normal, leaving that first chain on our hook. So we're going to yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 1. And that is how we make sure that our chain doesn't get twisted. And I'm going to make a chain of 25 inches or 64 centimeters, and that's a total of 92 chains. Go ahead and make your chain, but make sure it ends on an even number. And now that we have our chain, what we are going to do from here is just slip stitch it into that first chain that we made. But if you guys went along with me and did the tip that I did, all we're going to do is just pull that first loop underneath that second loop, do a chain up of 2, and you guys are ready to get started with our next row. Right before we get started with our first row, we're just going to need to insert our stitch marker into the halfway point from where our hook is. And then from there, we're going to go in with a row of half double crochets while increasing into the edges. So let's do the first one together. From here, we're going to prepare for a half double crochet and do an increase of 3 half double crochet into that same chain that we slip stitched into. So from here, we're going to make sure that we're inserting our hook into that same stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 3. We're going to do this 3 more times into that same stitch. So yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 3. Once more, prepare, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, and pull through 3. And from here, go all the way down, putting just 1 half double into every chain until we hit our next stitch marker. So we have just made our way all the way down with our half double crochets until we hit our stitch marker, and we're just going to do an increase of 3 half double crochets into there. So go ahead and take out your stitch marker, but don't put it too far. Into that next chain, we're going to go in with 3 half double crochets. So there's 1, into that same chain, there's 2, and then once more into that same chain, there's 3. Go ahead and take your stitch marker, then insert it into that second half double crochet that we have that's away from our hook. That is our next middle point. And then from here, just put 1 half double crochet into every chain going all the way down. Then I'll meet you guys back at the end of this row. All right, so now that we have done our half double crochets going all the way down, we are now going to slip stitch it into that second chain that we made when we first started off this row. So we're going to count up 1, count up 2, slip stitch into that second chain. Go ahead and yarn over and pull through everything. And then from here, we're just going to do a bunch of front post double crochets and then half double crochets in between. So let's get that started. We're going to start off by doing a chain up of 2 that counts as a half double crochet. From here, we're just going to start off by putting 1 half double crochet into the same stitch that we just slip stitched into. So we're going to prepare for a half double, insert your hook into that same stitch with a half double. And then from here, we're going to go into that next half double crochet post into the previous row with a double crochet. So how we're going to do that, we're going to prepare for a double crochet just like normal. And into the body portion of our next half double crochet that we have, we're going to be inserting our hook behind there. So we're going to insert our hook underneath the side of our half double crochet and then bring it through the other side, just like that. From here, we're going to yarn over, pull through, and then double crochet like normal. So yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Let's do the next few together. We're going to prepare for a half double crochet now. And then from here, we just want to make sure that we are skipping 1 stitch in the previous row and then putting our half double crochet into the next, because we want to make sure that we're not increasing by accident. So skip this stitch, half double crochet into the next, just like that. Let's do the next front post double crochet together. We're going to prepare for a double crochet. This was our previous front post double crochet. We will be skipping this next half double crochet and then doing our front post double crochet into the next. So now that we have already done our yarn over, we're going to insert our hook into that slit into that next half double, bring it through the other side, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Let's do one more set together. Prepare for a half double, skip 1 stitch in the previous row, put a half double into that next stitch. From here, prepare for a double, skip 1 half double in the previous row, and do a front post double crochet into the next half double. So underneath that next half double, bring it through the other side, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, and pull through 2. And then we're just going to be alternating between half double crochet and front post double crochet going all the way around. When we hit this stitch that our stitch marker is in, be sure to insert your stitch marker back into there, but I will meet you guys back when we don't have any more stitches left to go into. All right, so we are back and we have just finished up going in with our row of front post double crochets and half double crochets, and we are all finished up with our collar. All I did was a chain up of 1 and cut right where we ended, because we are now going to get started on our detail. So the first thing we're going to have to do is try on our collar and figure out where we want our detail portion to be. If you guys are following my numbers, I have my stitch markers in 12 stitches in from where these side stitch markers are. Or if you guys want to adjust your own detail section, all I did was, when I had this on, I went to the base of my neck, out about an inch, and then inserted my stitch markers. And then I just made sure that there's an even amount of stitches on both sides. But once when we have that, what we are going to do is actually switch out to our, here we go, 6.5 millimeter hook. And then we are first going to go in with a row of half double crochets. So into this first stitch marker, we also want to make sure that our ribbing is faced up towards us. But into this first stitch where our stitch marker is into, we're going to insert our hook into there, insert our yarn onto our hook, and pull through. From here, we're going to do a chain up of 2 that counts as a half double crochet. Prepare for a half double, insert into that next stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. And we're going to keep doing that going all the way down. I'll meet you guys back at the end of this row. Okay, so now that we have made our way all the way down with our half double crochets until we hit our next stitch marker, we need to start our work on the other side. So we're just going to make our way back with another row of half doubles. So start off with a chain up of 2. Flip our work and put 1 half double crochet into every stitch. We've just made our way down with our second row of half double crochets, and now we can get started on our cables. The first thing that we are going to have to do is insert our stitch marker into the 7th stitch away from this end, so that we know where to end our alpine stitches and start our cable again. So just to count this out, we're not counting this chain up of 2 right here, so here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Go ahead and insert your stitch marker, and then now let's get started on the cable along this side. We are all going to start off with a chain up of 2. Into that first stitch, we're going to put 1 half double crochet. And now we're going to work in sets of 2. The first set of 2 is going to be a set of front post double trebles. So we're going to yarn over 1, 2, 3 times. Into the first row of half double crochets, we're going to count the 3rd stitch. Not counting this chain up of 2, here's 1, 2. Into this 3rd, we're going to go in with a front post double treble. Insert your hook behind that half double crochet post, bring it through the other side, yarn over, pull through that post, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. We're going to do this in sets of 2, so into that next half double crochet, we're going to do the same thing. Yarn over 1, 2, 3 times. Into that next post, insert your hook behind and bring it through the other side, yarn over, pull through. From here, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. From here, we're going to work into those 2 half double crochets that we skipped into the first row. So just like before, we are going to be skipping this chain up of 2 and then working into this first half double and the second half double right after. And it's going to be with a front post double treble. So yarn over 1, 2, 3 times. Bring it on back to that first half double crochet. Insert your hook underneath, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, pull through 2, pull through 2. We have one more empty half double crochet, so let's go into there with another front post double treble. So yarn over 1, 2, 3 times. Into that empty half double crochet, insert your hook underneath that post, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And we are almost done with our cable. We need to close this off with a front post treble crochet, and that's going to be another set of 2. So yarn over 1, 2 times. Into this next post that we have, insert your hook behind that post, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. We have one more left to go into. Let's untangle my yarn too. Okay, into that last one, yarn over 1, 2 times. Into that next post, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, pull through 2, and pull through 2. Now this is our first cable stitch, and in between our cables and our alpine, we're going to have what we are going to call within the video a pillar, and that is always going to be a front post treble crochet. So just like how we did right here, we're going to yarn over 1, 2 times. Into that next half double crochet, insert your hook behind there, pull through 2, pull through 2, pull through 2. And our cable plus our pillar is now finished up. And from here, we're going to go in with our alpine now. So before we get started, we're going to need to figure out which stitch we need to go into. So bringing our work down and then counting these stitches from our previous row, we're going to count out 7 stitches. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Into that 8th stitch, we're going to go in with a half double crochet. So prepare, into the 8th stitch, insert your hook into there, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through all 3 stitches. And to get started with our alpine, we are next going to do a front post double crochet, but that is going to be within the 2nd half double crochet row. So into the next available half double crochet, we're going to be skipping this first one and doing a front post double crochet into the next one. Prepare for a double, insert our hook behind that next half double crochet post. Remember to leave this one. Yarn over, pull through 2, pull through 2. From here, we're going to go in with another half double. So we're going to prepare for half double, take a look at the back, skip 1 stitch, insert our hook into the next with a half double. And we're doing that to make sure that we don't accidentally increase. So into that stitch, do our half double. Let's do one more set together. So prepare for a double crochet. We're going to skip this next half double crochet post in the previous row, and then go in with a front post double crochet into that next half double. And we are going to keep doing that, going all the way down until we hit our stitch marker so that we can do the same cable that we just did here on the other side. We have made our way down to our stitch marker, which indicates we will be starting our cable. So it's going to be the same as this side. We're just going to do this side one more time as a refresher. So to start this cable off, we can take this guy out. We're going to start off by doing our pillar. So that's going to be a regular front post treble. So yarn over 1, 2 times. Into the 7th half double crochet we have into the first row. So let's count that together. Not counting this last one right here, count in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Into that 7th, we're going to do our front post treble crochet. And now we can get started with our cable again. So go ahead and prepare for a front post double treble. So yarn over 1, 2, 3 times. Skip the next 2 half double crochets in the previous row. So skip 1, skip 2. Skip the next 2 half double crochets from the first row. So skip 1, skip 2. Into that 3rd, insert your hook. Behind there with a front post double treble, so pull through 2, pull through 2, pull through 2, pull through 2. We're going to be doing one more into the post right after that. So yarn over 1, 2, 3 times. Into that next half double, insert your hook, pull through 2, pull through 2, 2, 2. From here, we're going to do another set of front post double trebles into those 2 half double crochets that we skipped. So yarn over 1, 2, 3 times. Into that first one that we have, we're going to bring our hook back with a front post double treble, pull through 2, 2, 2, 2. Into that next half double that we have right here, yarn over 1, 2, 3. Insert your hook into there, pull through 2, 2, 2, 2. We have another set of front post double trebles to go into, and those are going to go into the 3rd and 2nd to last. So yarn over 1, 2 times. Into the 3rd to last, insert your hook, pull through 2, 2, 2. One more into the 2nd to last, yarn over twice, 2nd to last, pull through 2, 2, and 2. And we have just finished going in with our row number 3. So we're going to prepare for a half double and then half double into that last stitch to close this guy off. And now we are going to make our way back to this side with a row of half double crochets. So chain up 2, flip our work. Prepare for a half double, put 1 half double crochet into every stitch, making our way all the way down. We have just made our way down with our half double crochet row. We should now all have a total of 4 rows. Here's our first half double, second half double, third was our row of cable in alpine, fourth is our half double. Our 5th row is going to be our next row of our cable stitches. So let's do that together. Start off with a chain up of 2. Into that first stitch, put 1 half double crochet, and then go in with a set of 2 front post trebles. So yarn over 1, 2 times. Into the first post from our previous cable stitch row, so not our half double crochet row, our cable stitch, we're going to insert our hook behind that post. Yarn over, pull through 2, 2, 2. We have one more to do, so yarn over 1, 2 times, into this next post, insert your hook, pull through 2, 2, 2. Now we're going to do a cross, so we're going to yarn over 1, 2, 3 times. We're going in with front post double trebles. We're going to skip these next 2 posts, go into the post right after that. So insert your hook behind that post, pull through 2, 2, 2, and then 2. And we have one more, so yarn over 1, 2, 3 times. Into that next post, pull through 2, 2, 2, 2. Now, we are going to go in with our next set of 2 front post double trebles, but we're going to need to go underneath those 2 that we just made. So together, yarn over 1, 2, 3 times. Make sure you're holding your yarn down onto your hook because it can very easily come off. We're going to pull our work down to try and see these 2 posts that we have in this little window that we made. So pull this down, and now we can see those 2 posts that we need to go into. We're going to go into this first post with another front post double treble. So we're going to insert our hook behind that first post, pull through 2, 2, 2, 2. We have one more left to do, so let's do the same thing. Yarn over 1, 2, 3 times. Hold down your yarn, pull your work down to find that last post that we have to go into. Insert your hook behind there, yarn over, pull through 2, 2, 2, 2. And now our second cable stitch row is all finished up. We're going to close this off by doing a pillar, so that's going to maintain as a front post treble. Yarn over 1, 2 times, into that post, pull through 2, 2, and 2. From here, we're going to go back in with our alpine in between our cable stitches. Sorry, I had to push up my glasses. From here, what we're going to do is prepare for a double crochet and then reach down to our previous alpine stitch row. So skipping over this half double crochet row, we're going to find our first half double crochet, to a front post double crochet. So insert, pull through, pull up just a little bit of slack, pull through 2, pull through 2. And from here, we're going to go in with a half double crochet into the top, but we want to make sure we're not increasing or decreasing by mistake. So we're going to count out a total of 8 stitches and then insert our hook into the 9th. So taking a look at the previous row, here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Into that 9th stitch, prepare for a half double, insert your hook into there with your half double crochet. Let's do the next set together. Prepare for a double crochet, skipping down this half double crochet into this half double crochet that we have in our alpine row. Insert your hook behind there, yarn over, pull through, pull up just a little bit of slack, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Now prepare for a half double crochet. Skip 1 stitch in the back, half double crochet into the stitch after. And keep doing this until we are ready to go in with our next cable stitch section. We have just done our alpines, going all the way down until we are ready to do our next cable stitch section. This is going to be the same as the first, so let's get this started off. We need to do our pillar first, so yarn over 1, 2 times and do a front post treble into that pillar. Insert our hook behind there, pull through pull through 2, 2, 2. Now to get started with our cable, we're going to go into those first 2 posts from our previous cable stitch row with a set of 2 front post trebles. So yarn over 1, 2 times. Into that first post, pull through 2, 2, 2. There we go. And one more, yarn over twice, into that next post, pull through 2, 2, 2. Next, we're going to be skipping the next 2 posts and then going into the 2 after that with a set of front post double trebles. So yarn over 1, 2, 3 times. Skip these 2, into the next, pull through 2, 2, 2, 2. One more front post double treble into the next, yarn over 3 times, insert, pull through 2, 2, 2, 2. Now we have to do the same thing that we did on the other side. So yarn over 1, 2, 3 times, hang on to our work. Pull our work down, try and find those 2 posts that we need to go into that little window, and then go into that first one with 1 front post double treble. And we have one more, yarn over 1, 2, 3 times, pull our work down, find that last post, insert, pull through 2, 2, 2, 2. From there, we're going to now close this row off with a half double crochet. So yarn over into that last stitch, go in with our half double crochet. And we are done with our alternating rows. So from here, do a chain up of 2, flip our work. Put 1 half double crochet into every stitch, going all the way back down, and then I'll talk you guys through the rest. So we have just made our way back down with our half double crochet row. And from here, we'll just be repeating rows 3 through 6 until we get the length that we want. Keeping in mind that we will have a bottom border as well. If you guys want a refresher, then I will have timestamps in the description, but I'll meet you guys back to let you guys know how many rows I went in with. All right, so we are back and we have just finished up going in with our middle detail, and I ended up having a total of 20 rows, or that came out to 7.5 inches or 19 centimeters. And from here, we're now going to start working on the side panel. And I actually got a little excited and did mine already. I just wanted to make sure that we had the right amount of rows. So from here, we're going to get started on the other side. So from where our hook is at, what we're going to do is a chain up of 1, and we're going to start going in with a row of single crochet along the side of our detail. We have a bunch of side half double crochets to go into, so we're going to be alternating between 1 to 2 single crochets. So into this first side half double crochet, we're going to insert our hook into there with 1 single crochet. Into our next side half double crochet, we're going to go in with 2 single crochet. There's 1, there's 2. Let's do one more set together. Into this next side half double, go in with 1, our next side half double, go in with 2, and keep alternating just like that until we get down to the base. Now that we've made our way all the way down with our single crochet row, we are now going to slip stitch into the base. So into the next available stitch that we have, we're going to insert our hook into there to close off this row. So we're going to yarn over and pull through everything that's on our hook. From here, we're going to slip stitch into the next 2 available loops to work our way up to the next row. So there's 1 slip stitch. Here's our second slip stitch. From here, go ahead and flip your work. And then we're going to prepare for a half double crochet. Insert your hook into that first back loop that we have. Go in with a back loop half double crochet. Just put 1 into every stitch, going all the way down, and I'll meet you guys back at the end of this row. Now that we've made our way down with our row of back loop half double crochets, we are now going to go in with the row of back loop single crochets. So at the end, we're going to do a chain up of 1 and flip. Into this first back loop, we're going to insert our hook into there with a single crochet. Let's do the next one. into that next back loop, single crochet. Go ahead and put one back loop single crochet into every stitch. We're going to connect into the base the same way that we just did, and we're going to keep alternating between those two rows until we hit our stitch marker that we have that's in the middle of our collar, and then I'll meet you guys back. So I am back, and I have just finished up going in with my back loop single crochet and back loop half double crochet rows, and I have gone all the way until I hit my stitch marker. From here, we're going to make a little chunk that's going to sit on top of our shoulder, and we're just going to keep going with rows like this until this hits the tip of our shoulder. So let's show you guys how to do that right now. If you guys ended up here, you're going to be doing a chain out of 2 and then come back down with our back loop half double crochets. If we ended down here, what we are going to do is a chain up of 1, flip our work, and then go all the way down with back loop single crochets. When we make it up to the shoulder portion, we have nothing left to go into, so just do a chain up of 2, work our way back down, putting 1 stitch into every stitch that we have. And just keep going back and forth like that until we have that measurement. And when we meet each other back, we'll be meeting along the bottom. We've just finished up going in with our shoulder portion, and mine was actually just 2 extra rows, and we did meet along the bottom like I said. And from here, we're just going to insert our stitch marker where we want our underarm portion to be. So I've inserted my stitch marker into the 5th stitch. And from here, we're going to work our way up and then do a decrease into those last 2 stitches. So since we're at the bottom, we're going to do a chain up of 1 and flip our work. We're going to continue on with our pattern. So I'm going to be putting 1 back loop single crochet into every stitch until I'm just 1 stitch away from my stitch with our stitch marker in it. And now that we are here, we're going to do a decrease into that second to last stitch and then that stitch with our stitch marker. So insert our hook into that back loop, yarn over, pull through, into that next back loop, yarn over, pull through. From here, we're going to yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. And then do a chain up of 2, flip our work, and we're going to start this off by doing a decrease of 2 back loop half double crochets. So prepare for a half double, insert our hook into that first back loop, pull through. Next back loop, pull through. We should have 4 loops on our hook, yarn over, pull through all 4. And then I'm going to be putting 1 back loop half double crochet into every stitch until I hit the bottom. When I do, I'm going to do a chain up of 1 and cut, and this is going to be my underarm portion, but you guys can continue this on until you guys get the size that you need. And just keep in mind that you guys are going to want to end on the bottom of our work. Now that I'm at the bottom, I'm going to yarn over, pull through, leave a little bit of slack, and I'm going to cut that loop. And now I'm finished with this side. And I already have my other side done. I'm just going to show you guys where we're going to be inserting our hook because both sides are done the same way. So since I just finished up with this side, we're going to take our same 6.5mm hook, insert it into this bottom corner that we have on the other side of our cable stitch section, and do everything the same. So alternate between 1 to 2 single crochets into every side half double, and then continue on with the same pattern until you guys get the same amount of rows as this side. I'll meet you guys back when you guys have both of these done. We're back and we have just finished up going in with both of our side / underarm portions, and now we can get started on the back together. So the first thing we are going to do is count the amount of stitches that we have for our last row when it comes to our underarm portion. And now we're just going to make a chain that is the same amount of stitches that we have into the last row for our underarm portion for the front. So I had a total of 4, so I'm going to be making 4 chains. Once when I have my chain, I'm going to block off that last chain and then do a chain up of 2. Since we all should have ended on the bottom, our next row is going to be a half double crochet row. We're going to prepare for a half double crochet into that chain that we blocked off, or the 3rd chain from our hook. We're going to go in with a half double and put 1 half double crochet into every chain. Now that I've made my way all the way down with my half double crochets, what we're going to do from here is do a chain up of 1 and flip our work. We're going to put 1 back loop single crochet into every stitch, and then we're going to increase into the last. So insert your hook into that first back loop and go in with a back loop single crochet. I'll meet you guys back when we have just 1 stitch left. We're back and we have just 1 stitch left into this row. So we're going to go in with an increase of 2 back loop single crochets. So into that last back loop, there's 1 single crochet, into that same back loop, our second single crochet. And if you guys have an underarm portion that's more than just these 2 rows that I have, go ahead and keep going, and then I'll meet you guys back when you guys are ready to go in with this chain that we are about to make for our shoulder portion. But since I am ready, what I'm going to do is count the amount of stitches from this point all the way up until where I ended. And I ended up having a total of 25 stitches, so I'm going to make a chain of 25. Now that I have my chain, I'm going to block off my last chain, go in with a chain up of 2 that counts as a half double crochet, because on this side we ended along the bottom, so our last row is a half double crochet row. We're going to prepare for a half double crochet, and then into that third chain, or the chain that we blocked off, we're going to go in with our half double crochet. And then from here, put 1 half double crochet into every chain that we have. Once when we meet our underarm portion right here, we're going to continue going into the back loops with back loop half double crochets. And then we're going to go in with another row of back loop single crochets after that. And just keep alternating between those 2 rows until you guys have the same amount of rows as your shoulder portion. I'll meet you guys back once when we have that so that we can attach it into the collar together. I am back and I have just finished up going in with my underarm portion and my shoulder chunk, making sure that I have the same amount of rows as the front. Once we have that, we can now go in with the back. So the first thing we're going to do is find the next available stitch into the collar and slip stitch it into there. So into this next stitch, I'm going to insert my hook, and yarn over and pull through everything to secure it all together. And then once we have that, we are going to be slip stitching into the next 2 stitches into the collar to work our way up to the next row. So we're going to yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through into that second stitch, and then flip our work. And now we can get started in with the back portion. And from here, we're going to do rows of back loop half double crochets and back loop single crochets. So let's do those together. We're going to prepare for a half double crochet, insert my hook into that next back loop, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through all 3. And since this is the back, we're going to be alternating between those 2 without doing any increases or decreases, going all the way down until we don't have any more stitches left to go into for the back piece. Then I'll meet you guys back so that we can do our shoulder portion and then our underarm piece together. All right, so we are back and we have just made our way all the way across doing our rows of back loop half doubles and back loop single crochets. Once when we have no more stitches left to go into, we're going to do the tiny little shoulder chunk that we have along the front and on the side. It's going to be the same amount of rows. So all I'm going to do, since I'm along the bottom, is do a chain up of 1, flip my work, and then I'm going to work my way up with back loop single crochets. And since my shoulder chunk is just 2 rows, I'm going to work my way back down with back loop half double crochets. And then I'll meet you guys back when we have that portion done so that we can do our little underarm portion together. All right, so we have just made our way back down with our little shoulder chunk that we have right here, and now we're going to go in with our super tiny underarm portion. So this is going to be the same way that we have done the other side, which is the front. I'm just going to insert my stitch marker into the same stitch that I inserted it into the front, and then from here I'm going to do a chain up of 1, flip my work, and I'm going to go all the way down, putting 1 back loop single crochet into every stitch that I have until I'm just 1 stitch away from my stitch marker. And then we're going to do a decrease into there. So now that we are here, I'm going to go into the second to last back loop, pull through, into that last back loop, pull through, yarn over, pull through all 3. Once we have that, I have just 1 more row left to go into for my underarm portion. So I'm going to do my chain up of 2, prepare for a half double, into that first back loop, pull through, next back loop, pull through. We should have 4 loops on our hook, yarn over, pull through all 4. And from here, I'm just going to make my way all the way down, putting 1 back loop half double crochet into every stitch. And since this is my last, we can actually go straight into our seam. So I have just made my way into my last stitch. And what we are going to do from here is just make sure that our work is flipped wrong side out, which meaning our cable stitches is actually faced in. So what we're going to do is make sure that it's faced up towards us and then have the back laying on top of it. And then since we are already working into here, we're now going to insert our hook into the corner stitch that we have, into the front panel, yarn over, and pull through everything. And now we can single crochet down, going into our front panel and our back panel at the same time. So let's do that together. So insert your hook into the first available stitch, into the front panel, insert your hook into the next available stitch, into the back panel. From there, go ahead and single crochet. Let's do the next one together. Into the next stitch, into the front panel, into the next stitch, into the back panel, and single crochet. And we're going to keep doing this, going all the way down until we don't have any more of these underarm stitches left to go into, and then I'll meet you guys back. And now that we have just finished up seaming up our sides, the next thing that we need to seam up is our tiny shoulder portion that we have right here. Yes, I went ahead and did the sleeve and all that on this side, don't mind that, but I actually just wanted to make sure that I had the numbers right. But right before we get started with that, we're going to be inserting our hook into the corner stitch that we have right next to the collar into the front panel, and then also the loop that we have that's right next to the collar along the back panel. From here, we're going to insert our yarn onto our hook and pull through. Do a chain up of 1 to secure. And then from here, I'm just going to be putting 1 single crochet into each of my side rows and then do a chain up of 1 and cut at the end. So I actually only have 2 rows for my shoulder portion. So I'm going to insert my hook into this first side row and then also into the same side row into the back panel. And I'm going to single crochet. And then I have just 1 more, so I'm going to insert my hook into that last loop, into the front panel, last loop into the back panel, single crochet, do a chain up of 1, cut, and then I'll meet you guys back so that we can get started on our sleeve. Alright, so we have just finished up seaming our shoulder portion, and what we're going to do next is get started on our sleeve. And the first thing that we are going to have to do is flip our work right side out, meaning our cable is faced up towards us and all the seams are along the inside. And getting started on this sleeve, I'm going to be switching out to my 8mm hook, and then I'm going to be inserting my hook right into the loop that we have that's right next to our side seam right here. So don't mind all these tail ends, those will definitely be woven in later. But what we're going to do is find the loop that's right next to this side seam, and then insert our hook into there, insert my yarn onto my hook, and pull through. And then from here, we're going to be putting 1 single crochet into each side single crochet, and then 2 single crochets into each side half double crochet. So the first side row that I have right here is a side half double, so I'm going to go in with 2 single crochets into there. So there is 1, and then there is 2. My next side row is a side single crochet, so I'm going to go in with just 1 on top of that row. And then right here, right where we meet this corner, we're going to be doing a decrease of 2 single crochets into those first 2 back loops, and then I'm just going to be putting 1 single crochet into every stitch until we hit the same spot on the other side. So let's do this first one together. We're going to take our hook and insert it into the first back loop that we have when it comes to this shoulder portion. Yarn over, pull through. Into the next loop, yarn over, pull through. From here, we're going to yarn over, pull through all 3, and put 1 back loop single crochet into every stitch, making our way all the way around until we have these 2 stitches left when it comes to this shoulder portion right here, and then I'll meet you guys back. Alright, so we have just made our way all the way around, putting 1 back loop single crochet into every stitch, but leaving the last 2 stitches that we have right before we go into our underarm portion, and we're just going to do our decrease together. So into that second to last back loop, we're going to insert our hook, pull through, in my last back loop, pull through, yarn over, pull through all 3. And then when it comes to this underarm portion, we're going to do the same thing when we started this off. We're going to be putting 2 singles into every side half double, and then 1 single into every side single. So into this first side row, I'm going to insert my hook with 1 single crochet, and then into this next one, I'm going to go in with 2 single crochet, Once we have that, we will slip stitch into that chain up of one space that we made when we first started off this row. And then when we have that, we're going to do a chain up of 2 and flip our work. And once when our work is flipped, we're going to be putting just one back loop half double crochet into every stitch. So go ahead and prepare for a half double. Insert your hook into that back loop with a half double. And just put one into every back loop, and I'll meet you guys back at the end of this row. All right, so we have just made our way all the way around with our back loop half double crochet row. So what we are going to do to close off all of our back loop half double crochet rows is count up the chain 2 that we started this row off with. So here's 1, here's 2. We're going to slip stitch into that second chain to close this off, do a chain up of 1 and flip our work, and now we can get started with our decreases. So getting my decreases started, I'm first going to do a chain up of 1 from where we're at and flip our work. And I'm first going to go in with 15 back loop single crochets, and then we're going to decrease into the 16th and into the 17th. So let's do that together. Insert your hook into that first back loop with a single crochet. And like I said, I'm going to keep going until I have a total of 15. So I've just gone in with my 15 back loop single crochets, and then into the next 2 we're going to do a decrease. So insert your hook into that next back loop, pull through, into that next back loop, pull through, yarn over, pull through all 3. And we're just going to do another set of that. So 15 back loop single crochets, decrease into the next 2. And we're just going to keep doing that until we make our way all the way around. Once we do that, slip stitch into that chain up of 1 space that we have, and then I'll meet you guys back. Okay, so we are back and we have just finished up going in with our decrease row. And once we have our decrease row, which is going into the back loop single crochet rows, we're going to slip stitch, do a chain up of 2, flip our work, and then put 1 back loop half double crochet into every stitch. So we're only decreasing into the back loop single crochet rows. And then once we're done with our half double crochet row, we are next going to do another decrease row into our single crochets. So just as an example, the one that we just did, we did 15 back loop single crochets and then a decrease. The next row we're going to do is 14 back loop single crochets and then decrease. Our single crochet row after that, 13 back loop single crochets and then decrease. So we're just taking it down by 1 stitch and then doing a decrease all the way down until we hit our elbow. So go ahead and get all that done, and then I'll meet you guys back once we have that finished up. Okay, so I am back and I have just finished up going in with the sleeve right until where I want to start doing my decreases. And I have stopped right after my 22nd row, or this is right where my elbow is. And from here, I'm just going to go in the rounds with my row of back loop single crochet, do a chain up of 2 and flip, and then back loop half double crochet. And then from here, we're just going to keep going down until we are ready to get started with our cuff. So I'm actually going to keep going until I have a total of 35 rows, and then I'll meet you guys back so that we can do this cuff together. So go ahead and get your 6.5mm hook ready when we have that length. All right, so now that we have made our way all the way down with our sleeve, like I said in the previous clip, I have a total of 35 rows. We can now go in with the cuff. I did switch out my hook to my 6.5mm hook, and the first thing we're going to do from here is just go in with a single crochet row along the edge. So just do a chain up of 1, flip our work, and then put 1 single crochet into every stitch, and slip stitch into this chain up of 1 space, and then I'll meet you back. Now that we've gone in with our single crochet row, we are next going to make a chain that is the length that we want our cuff to be. I want mine to be 5 inches or 13 centimeters, so I'm going to start off by making a chain of 15. Now that we have our chain, what we're going to do from here is block off that last chain, do a chain up of 3. That counts as a double crochet. You're going to prepare for a double crochet, and then into that chain that we blocked off, or the first chain from our hook, we're going to go in with a double crochet. Let's do the next one together. Prepare for a double, insert into that next chain, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and keep putting 1 double crochet into every chain that we have. Now that we've put 1 double crochet into every chain, we're now going to slip stitch it into the base. So we're going to count up 1, 2 stitches, slip stitch into that second to close off that first row. And to work our way up to the next row, we're going to slip stitch up the next stitch and also up the next stitch. We will now flip our work. From here, prepare for a double crochet and then put 1 back loop double crochet into every stitch going all the way down. When we make our way down to the end, do a chain up of 3, flip our work, and then work your way back down with more back loop double crochets, connecting it into the base the same way that we just did. I'll meet you guys back once we don't have any more stitches left so that we can seam it all up together. Now that we've made our way all the way around with our back loop double crochets, we are now ready to seam up the sides. We just want to make sure that our sleeve is flipped wrong side out so that our seam can be along the inside. And then we're going to take our hook and insert it into the corner stitch into the front panel, corner stitch into the back panel, pull through, chain up of 1 to secure. And this is going to be the same as the rest, so we're just going to do the first one together. We're going to insert our hook into the first stitch into the front panel, first stitch into the back panel, and then single crochet. Keep doing that, going all the way down. Do a chain up of 1 and cut when we don't have any more stitches left, and then do the same thing that we just did here for the sleeve and the cuff on the other side. Now that we have finished up both of our sleeves, we are now going to go in with the bottom border. We're first going to go in with a row of single crochet along the entire thing. So take your 6.5mm hook, insert it into any one of these loops that we have, and from here we're just going to be putting 1 single crochet into each of our side rows and into each of our regular stitches. And we're going to do that going all the way around and do a chain up of 1 to secure. So all we're going to do is pull through. Do a chain up of 1 to secure, and then into my first side row that I have right here, I'm going to insert my hook and single crochet, and I'll meet you guys back at the end of this row. And now that we've made our way around the entirety of our bottom with our single crochet, next we're going to go in with our bottom border, and that is going to be done exactly the same way as our cuff. So I'm going to start off by making a chain of 10 because I want my bottom border to be 2 inches or 5 centimeters. Now that we have our chain, we are going to block off that last chain and do a chain up of 3. That counts as our double crochet. We're going to prepare for a double crochet. Into that chain that we blocked off, or the 4th chain from our hook, we're going to go in with our double crochet. And the rest of this is going to be exactly like our cuff. So put 1 double crochet into every chain, slip stitch it into the base the same way that we did for the cuff, and then go in with back loop double crochets from there. And then once we make it all the way around, we are going to seam it up, just making sure that the seam is going to be along the inside, and then that is it. Go ahead and get all of this done, and then I'll meet you guys back. Alrighty, so we are back, and we have just finished up going in with both of our sleeves, and what we are going to do next is our hood. Now we are all going to get started on the left side of our hood together. We want to make sure that our work is flipped right side out and making sure that the front is faced up towards us, so we're looking at the cable. And then from there, we're going to grab our 5mm hook, and from here, we're going to insert our stitch marker into where we want the hood to start in the front, and then we're going to trace it along the back and then insert our stitch marker where we want that detail to end along the back. So what I did is trace the edge of the cable up, went over about an inch, and inserted my stitch marker. And then I counted around till about 20 stitches, but this part can be different for everyone. Just make sure it's an even number. But when we have that, we are all going to take our 5mm hook, insert it into the front of our work, so this stitch marker right here, and then we're going to go in with a row of half double crochets, and we're going to increase into that last. So what we're going to do is take our yarn, insert it onto our hook, and pull through. We're going to do a chain up of 2, that counts as a half double crochet, and then put 1 half double crochet into every stitch until we hit that last stitch with our stitch marker into it, and then I'll meet you guys back so that we can go in with our increase. Now that we've made it down to our last stitch with our stitch marker into it, we're going to go in with an increase of 2 half double crochets. So we're going to yarn over, go into that last stitch with 1 half double, and then into that same last stitch with another half double crochet. From here, we're going to take out our 5mm hook, and we are going to switch out for our 6.5mm hook, and this is what it's going to be for the rest of our hood. So we do need to make our way back over to this side because our alpine is only visible on one side. So what we're going to do is a chain out of 2. From here, we're going to flip our work and then do an increase into this first stitch that we have over here. So there's 1 half double into this first stitch again, our next half double. And then from here, we're going to go in with 1 half double crochet into every stitch, making our way down. And now that we made our way down to our second row of our half double crochets, we are now going to get started with our alpine stitches, which is actually going to be very similar to the one that we did along the front. So let's get this started. For this first row, we're all going to start off by doing a chain up of 2. Once we have that, into that first stitch, we're going to go in with a half double crochet. So prepare for a half double. Go into that first stitch with a half double. And then from there, we're going to be doing our front post double crochets into the second half double crochet row. So we're going to be skipping this first one altogether. We're going to prepare for a double crochet, and we're going to be skipping this first half double since we just put a half double on top of there. Then we're going to be going into the one after that. So if we're counting from the edge, this is our first, I guess we can call it. Here's 1, here's 2, and then here's our third. So we're going to insert our hook underneath that half double crochet post. We're going to yarn over, pull through there, pull up just a little bit of slack, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And then I'm sure you guys already have the hang of this, so go ahead and just alternate between 1 half double crochet and 1 front post double crochet, and I'll meet you guys back at the end of this row. Alright, so we have just made our way all the way down with our first alpine stitch row, and then now we need to make our way back to the front. So we're going to do a chain up of 2, increase of 2 half double crochets, and then bring it back with more half double crochets. So let's get that started. We're all going to do our chain up of 2 into that first stitch, go in with 1 half double, and then 2 half double. From here, we're going to put 1 half double into every stitch. I'll meet you guys back at the end of this row. So we've made our way down with our half double crochet row, and just to get our next alpine row started with you guys, we're going to do a chain up of 2. From here, since we started off with 1 half double crochet into the first stitch that we had in the previous alpine row, we're going to start off with our front post double into that half double. So prepare for a double, insert our hook behind that first half double that we have, pull through, yank up just a little bit, pull through 2, pull through 2, not pull through everything, there we go. And then from here, we're going to be skipping 1 stitch just like before, prepare for a half double into the next, and then alternate again going all the way down. Once we make our way down to the end, I am actually done increasing, so I'm just going to keep going all the way down. When I do that, do a chain up of 2, half double crochet back, and then just alternate between the 2 previous alpine stitch rows. We basically just want our front post double over our half and our half over our front post double, and vice versa for the other rows. And we're just going to keep going back and forth like that until we get the height that we want for our hood. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then I'll meet you guys back. Alright, so we are back, and we have just finished up going in with the left side of our hood. I ended up having a total of 29 rows, or that came out to 11.5 inches or 29 centimeters. And then we're going to do the same thing, kind of, that we did over here on the other side. The first thing that we are going to need to do is insert our stitch markers onto the right side into the same stitches that we have over here. Now I know that we eyeballed these, so go ahead and try your best to eyeball them on this side as well. And make sure that we have the same number count. So I went 1 inch over from my cable, inserted the stitch marker, counted out 20 stitches, and then along the back I've inserted that stitch marker. And then now we're actually going to turn our work over and we're going to be working from the back to the front because, like I said, our alpine stitches aren't reversible. So getting started on the other side of our panel of our hood together, we're going to be inserting our hook into this stitch that our stitch marker is in. And then from here, we're going to insert our yarn onto our hook. And also we want to make sure that we're first inserting with our 5mm hook. We're going to pull through and do a chain up of 2. And then into that next stitch, since we're working from the back to the front, we're going to go in with an increase of 2 half double crochets. So prepare for a half double, go into that next stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 3, and we're going to do that one more time into that same stitch. So prepare, insert, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 3. And then go ahead and put 1 half double crochet into every stitch until we hit our next stitch marker. And then I'll meet you guys back because we're going to switch out our hook again, just like how we did on the other side. So now that we've gone all the way down with our row of half double crochet along the other side of our hood, what we're going to do from here is switch out our hook. So we're going to take out our 5mm and then grab our 6.5, insert that into our work, and start the next row off by doing a chain up of 2 just like before. And then from here, since we're working from the front of our piece around to the back, we're going to put 1 half double crochet into every stitch, then do an increase into this last stitch, and then I'll meet you guys back so we can get started on our alpine row together. So we've just finished our second row and we're going to start our alpine row together. So just like before, do a chain up of 2. From here, put 1 half double crochet into that first stitch. So prepare, insert, pull through 3. From here, prepare for a front post double crochet, and then into the second half double crochet row that we have, we're going to count out 1, which is our turning chain, 2, 3. Into that third stitch that we have counted out, we're going to go in with a front post double. So insert, pull through 2, pull through 2. And keep doing this going all the way down. Once we reach the end, do a chain up of 2, flip our work, and then bring your work back down with a row of half double crochets and increasing into that last stitch for the same amount of rows that we increased for into the previous side, because we want to make sure that our hood sides are even. Yeah, so go ahead and do that, and then when we have that, we're just going to work our way straight up just like how we did this one with a row of alpine, a row of half double crochet until we get the same amount of rows as this side, and then I'll meet you guys back. Alrighty, so we are back and we have just finished up going in with the right side of our hood. And it came out to the same amount of rows and height and everything. So the next thing we're going to do is this middle portion. So how we're going to do that is we're all going to get started on the left side again. We're just going to go in with a row of single crochet just to clean up the edges so that it's easier for us to go into when we go in with the middle portion. So making sure that our work is still faced right side up and flipped right side out. We're going to insert our hook into the corner stitch that we have into the left panel. And it's going to be this outside corner, so go ahead and insert your 6.5mm hook, insert your yarn into there, and pull through. Do a chain up of 1 to secure. We're going to be working back towards this back corner, and then into this back half as well. So from here, just put 1 single crochet into every stitch that we have, and then I'll meet you guys back once we hit that corner. So we have just put 1 single crochet all the way down into every stitch, and now that we're at the corner, we're not going to do anything here. We're just going to go into that first side half double crochet that we have with 1 single crochet. So go ahead and just keep going into that first side half double, go in with a single crochet, and then into that next side half double, which is this right here, we're going to go in with 2 single crochet. We're just going to be alternating between 1 single crochet and 2. Into the next side half double, 1 single crochet, into the next side half double, 2 single crochet. And we're going to keep doing this going all the way down. I'll meet you guys back at the end of this row to show you guys how to slip stitch it into the base. Alright, so we have just made our way all the way down our back piece, and then we're just going to slip stitch into that next available stitch. So go ahead and insert your hook into that next stitch that we have into the base. It might be a little tight, but it'll work out, I promise, ish. go ahead and yarn over, pull through with a slip stitch. Once when we have that, we're going to yarn over, pull through, leave some slack, and then cut. And then we're going to do the same thing that we just did here on the other side, but we're also just going to go ahead and fill in the rest of this piece. So let's get that started. All right, so we have just finished up going in with the single crochet along one side, and we're just going to do the same thing on the other. So I'm just going to remind you guys that we are going to be inserting our hook into this corner stitch, and then single crocheting going all the way down, and then we're going to do a slip stitch, chain up of one and cut once we get down here, and then we can fill in the middle together. Okay, so we have just single crocheted all the way down our second panel, and now we're going to get started on the middle panel, which is just going to be more rows of alpine going all the way up and over. And just as an FYI, we're doing it this way so that we have a hood that doesn't come straight up to a cone head, basically. So what we are going to do is first go in with our half double crochet row going all the way across from this side to this side. So we all want to make sure that our work is flipped right side out, but we are looking at the back, and we are going to take a look at the right panel that we have. We're going to be inserting our hook into the second stitch that we have along the right panel. So here's one, here's two. Go ahead and insert your hook into there. Insert your yarn onto our hook and pull through. From here, we're going to automatically prepare for a half double crochet and then go into that first available stitch that we have into the collar. This may be a little tricky because it is definitely going to be tight, because we're going in with our 6.5 instead of our 5, but it is possible. But we are going to pull through just like that. And we are going to be putting one half double crochet into every stitch going all the way across, and then I'll show you guys how to attach it into this side once we make our way over there. Alright, so we have just made our way all the way across with our half double crochet, and what we are going to do from here is slip stitch it into the second stitch that we have into the left side. So we're going to count up 1, count up 2, into that second, we're going to slip stitch. And now this first row is closed off. We're going to be doing one more row of half double crochets. So we're going to slip stitch up 1, slip stitch up 2. That works our way up to the next row, and then we're going to flip our work. Once when our work is flipped, we're going to make our way back across, going in, putting one half double crochet into every stitch. So insert, pull through 3, and we're going to attach it into the other side the same way that we did over here, and then I'll meet you guys back just so we can get started on our alpine section together, and then the rest of it is pretty much the same, so I'll let you guys have at it. Okay, so we have just made our way across with our second half double crochet row, and we have slip stitched it into the second stitch that we had onto this side. And you guys should know to work our way up to the next row. We're going to be slip stitching up 1, up 2. We'll flip our work, and then we'll just start this next alpine row together. And once when our work is flipped, we're going to all start off with a half double crochet. So prepare, insert, pull through 3. And our next is going to be a front post double. So prepare into that next half double crochet, insert, pull through 2, pull through 2. And that is it. We are going to keep alternating between a half double and a front post double, and then we're just going to keep going back and forth like this all the way up and over our corners right here, and then we're going to keep going until we get to the edge of our hood. Then we're going to do a chain up of 1 and cut, and then we'll just clean the rest up together. Alright, so we are back, and we have just finished up going all the way up and over with the middle portion of our hood. And we are now ready to just clean this up. So as you guys can see, I have inserted my 6.5mm hook into this corner stitch that we have right here. And this is the stitch that's closest to the hood that is available. So I'm going to be inserting my yarn onto my hook and pull through. Once we have that, do a chain up of 1. Now we have a bunch of side half double crochets to go into, so we're just going to be alternating between 1 to 2 single crochets into each. So let's do the first set together. Into this first side half double crochet, we're going to go in with 1 single crochet. Into the next, there is 2 single crochets. And keep doing this, going all the way down. We will have some regular loops to go into when we get to the top, but we're just going to keep doing this, going all the way around, and then go ahead and slip stitch into the next available stitch that we have into the collar over here. Do a chain up of 1 and cut. And now that we've made our way all the way around with our single crochet row, we are actually all done. The last thing we're going to have to do is just weave in all of our ends. We've woven in our ends and our piece is all finished. This top pulls together some of my favorite elements to play with, and I'm super happy with how it turned out. If you guys are too, don't forget to click that bell to be notified when we have new goodies like this one. There's a written pattern down below. Use offer code TCDDIY for a discount off any $9.99 plus order. Enter this week's pattern giveaway by telling us how old you were when you first started crocheting. Good luck to everyone who enters. Also, if you like this video, give it a big thumbs up because believe it or not, it actually helps. And be sure to share us on Twitter, Pinterest, Instagram, and Facebook, links down below. Link to our Etsy page is down there too if you want to buy this piece or any other piece on the channel. And be sure to favorite the shop so you don't miss out on new patterns and exclusive deals. As always guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see y'all in the next one.